Okay, so for our last example, sorry, I had to trim the video down. So this graph shows the world population growth, and it is difficult to read these numbers right down here, but if we look right here, we can see the time period was, and let's see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. The time period was 1800 to the year 2100. I don't even know how we would say that. So that's the time period across the bottom. So first up is domain. So domain is going to span the graph on the x-axis. So that is our time, which is in years. And that went from 1800 to 2100. So that takes care of our domain. All right, our range is along the y-axis. And again, the graph goes from 0 to 9,000, but our data looks like it goes from about 1,000 to 8,000. So our range is 1,000 to 8,000. That's the data for the millions of people in the world population. All right, so next up we're going to look at the increasing and decreasing. And it looks like starting in 1800, it looks like the population is increasing. It's still increasing. It's still increasing. It's still increasing. I don't know, maybe somewhere around here is where it stops. So all of this right here, the population is increasing. And then from whatever year this is, we'll zoom in a second and see if we can figure out what year that is. But then it looks like from here to the end of the graph, the world population was decreasing. So when we go over to the increasing, starting in 1800, which is our starting point, so that gets a bracket, and continuing through, well, this looks like 2000, this looks like 2020, this looks like 2040, so it looks like it's going up by 20s. So I might say the year 2045 maybe, but the population didn't stop growing at that point, so we don't have a stop sign there. We're just changing from an increasing population, and then it looks like starting in the year 2045, we start decreasing our population until the year 2100, and then that's where our graph stops. So that we only have one part that's increasing and one part that's decreasing for this graph of information on world population. All right, so now we're going to look for the maximum point, and the maximum point occurred right there. So let's see, we named that, and again, this is an ordered pair. So we named that the year, the year 2045, and the population was 8,000 million, and that was the highest. And then our minimum looks like it occurred way back here at the beginning. So this looks like our minimum right here. And again, that is a point. So our minimum point occurred in the year 1800. The population was at 1,000 million people. And again, that's a point, an ordered pair, so we use parentheses. Okay, so again, we did not do every characteristic in here. Some of them we're going to be focusing on more in the next unit. But hopefully using these graphs that have data that are labeled helps you with what you're looking at for each characteristic. So if you need to review the video, please do, and then we will continue on this topic in class.